Pikmin freaking 4, baby. I don't think I've ever been more excited to talk about a video game in my entire life. Ever since Pikmin 3 dropped in 2013, I have anxiously been awaiting the series' return, as it is one of my most favorite video games ever. So you best bet that whenever our savior Shigeru Miyamoto told the world that the Pikmin gods would come down from the heavens and bestow upon our planet his latest magnum opus, I was ready. Now I know what you may be thinking, dude, what are you talking about? Your last 3 videos were on FPSs. Why are you making a video about a bunch of tiny plant dudes that go around and pick up trash? For those people, here you go. Come on, Pikmin! Is this better? Okay, that's enough. This may be a departure from what I usually do, but this is a once-in-a-console generation opportunity, bucko. So grab your popcorn and let's sit down because Pikmin 4 is fucking here, dude. Let's roll the tape. Let me set the stage. The location, Nintendo Space World. The man, Shigeru Miyamoto. The year, 2000. Miyamoto has just come on stage to reveal a tech demo called Super Mario 128. This demo features 128 copies of Mario on screen at once that demonstrate the power of the GameCube. What might seem like a simple tech demo would set off a spark in Miyamoto's brain that would influence him to create the next Super Mario Bros. I know, a tall task, but Miyamoto was up for the challenge, so he got to work, crafting such unique characters as Olimar, Io, and Louie. Gee. Now we've got Pikmin. Pikmin is a strategy population management survival horror game.
Stop screaming! Stop!
Okay, that last one is debatable, but it is for sure a strategy game. In Pikmin, you are given a fixed amount of time in the day to complete various tasks utilizing extreme multitasking skills before it hits nighttime. That's practically it. That's the napkin pitch for what has given rise to 4 main series titles, a Pokemon Go ripoff, and a spin-off title that we don't talk about. Each main series title has been lovingly crafted by Nintendo and has so much thought and detail put into every aspect of the game, it's just nuts. Pikmin 4 is no stranger to this treatment, and this love for the franchise can be seen in every aspect of the game. The best place to start to understand this, though, is the story. We start the game looking at a planet known as PF-404, which I promise is not Earth. I mean, Australia has no hope. It is not the Garden of Hope. Like, fucking look at that. What the hell is that? Okay, that one's kind of dope. You may be asking though, what the hell even is your goal coming to this planet? Well, here's what you gotta do. 1, your main goal is to find Captain Olimar. 2, you gotta find your rescue crew before they become unalive, or worse, become marketable plushies. 3, your ship is out of fuel. Major bummer, dude. You gotta find the treasure of the planet like tech decks and Game Boys, which hold an element called sparklium to refuel your ship. And finally, number 4, y'all weren't the only people that landed on this planet. There's a crap ton of people that now you also gotta rescue. Now you may be thinking, how am I supposed to do this? I'm only yay tall and the planet is this big. Well, fret not. We've got a gang of brightly colored, marketable characters that can help you out. Hey guys. For Rock Pikmin, I'm gonna go with S tier. Okay, but for real, the game's answer to completing all these tasks is the Pikmin. These Pikmin range in terms of color and size, so I'll just do a quick explanation of what each one is and what makes them unique. The red Pikmin are the first ones you'll encounter on this planet, and they are impervious to fire. They also hit 1.5 times harder than every other type of Pikmin, so they are a perfect all-around troop to have in your small army.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help me. Here too much raining.
Unlike every other Pikmin, the blue Pikmin have water-breathing capabilities. They can help you to go to areas that no other Pikmin can allow you to go, but at the end of the day, they're water Pikmin. The yellow Pikmin are immune to electricity and are perfect for dealing with many late-game threats. In addition to that, they are also able to be thrown higher than any other Pikmin type, so this will make them perfect for acquiring treasure in hard-to-reach places, as well as fighting flying enemies that other Pikmin can't reach. New to Pikmin 4, the Ice Pikmin are probably the most versatile option. While attacking enemies, the Ice Pikmin build up a gauge that when completed frees the enemy in place, allowing the rest of your squad to go in and unload a crap ton of damage. In addition to that, what did we all learn in science class? Ice is less dense than water, so these guys can float. You can also throw them in the water to create a path for your other Pikmin to walk across. These chonky boys are the toughest addition to your team. They weigh 10 times the weight of a normal Pikmin, meaning that they can't run as fast as others and can't be thrown as high as well, but they make up for it by having a slam attack when thrown, which does a huge amount of damage. They are also the strongest Pikmin type in the game, having a carrying capacity of 10, so basically bring these guys if you want to get shit done. These cute little guys are not only the smallest Pikmin in the entire game, but they are also the fastest. What also makes these guys unique is that they have an immunity to poison, which will also help you in many late game areas, much like the yellow Pikmin.
That's just a stupid boulder!
It's not just a boulder! It's a rock!
The rock Pikmin are rocks. Okay, for real, you can use the rock Pikmin like a rock and smash crystal objects, and due to being rocks, they are also perfect for pelting your enemies as they do damage on impact.
Número 11. Horsefly.
These little dudes are, as the name implies, flying, allowing them to carry loot above all obstacles and get everywhere, and I mean literally everywhere. Like, who left a window open, dear lord?
Phew. It's funny, I had this foreboding feeling I was going to be accidentally mulched.
Last but certainly not least is the glow Pikmin. These guys will collect loot and then teleport back to the player. They are also impervious to fire, electricity, water, and poison. In addition to that, they can also be charged up to unleash a powerful attack which stuns enemies and allows for a crazy amount of damage to get dished out. Now what's stopping you from, say, taking out 100 glow Pikmin and just starting an ecological disaster? Well, to put it simply, it's balancing. Nintendo really tried to make sure that Pikmin 4 was the most balanced in the series, because certain Pikmin like the purple and rock types are notorious for being, how should I put this, stupid overpowered. So when creating this title, they tried to focus on balancing each Pikmin to make them as equal use-wise, but also unique enough in order to not be relegated to the Shadow Realm. The glow Pikmin, for example, can only come out at night and during caves. The other thing that they did was make it so that you have to collect onions. These are the vessels that the Pikmin stay in. So in order to grow the population of other Pikmin types, you need to unlock that specific colored onion. This severely limits the effectiveness of purple and flying Pikmin because having a finite number of them makes the player more weary of using them. Alright, now I can talk about the game's difficulty, because I have never seen a game go from being the easiest experience ever to probably the most evil and sadistic piece of media to ever be released by Nintendo. The Pikmin will do anything for you, and while sometimes this works out pretty well and you can melt anything that gets in your way, complacency with this idea leads to horrible consequences, because hundreds of Pikmin throw themselves at enemies haphazardly, teaching the player to never take the game's monsters for granted. But that isn't the only aspect of your army that you have to think about, because Nintendo actually added yet another cutesy toy-selling mascot for this game. There's no way that I could talk about this game without mentioning Oatchi. They are marketing this guy like crazy. He's at the face of every trailer and poster for the game, and for good reason. Oatchi is the GOAT. At the start, you may think Oatchi sucks. He has no carrying capacity, he can't swim, he's small, he dies easily, he's just bad, he's not good. As you upgrade though, that's when he becomes a god amongst Pikmin. He can carry up to 100 weight worth of items. He can swim. He can do this. Despite being dope, Oatchi ends up becoming a crutch in certain situations later in the game, and it just becomes easier to go in and use him to complete tasks instead of relying on the individual strength of each Pikmin type. Despite that, he's a welcomed addition to the team, and I wouldn't see exploring the world of Pikmin the same way without him. Oh wait, that's a really good segue for my next topic. The environment in Pikmin is beautiful. Each and every tiny detail was carefully crafted by Nintendo to bring this world to life in the most magical of ways. Everyday objects like plant pots and water pipes become the platforms and tunnels that you must now use to traverse the landscape, and hazards like the sprinkler destroy carefully crafted plants. My favorite area is the serene shores. This is because it utilizes a tide system in which the water that covers most of the map will recede and open up new, previously unreachable zones for you and your Pikmin to explore. In addition to exploring the maps during the day, the night in Pikmin is a whole different ballgame. In the night missions, the game turns away from a scavenging time management format into more of a wave defense format, kind of like Orcs Must Die, or Dungeon Defenders, or, Bubble Tank's Tower Defense. In the night missions, you must use the glow Pikmin in order to defend their home base called the Luminol from being attacked so that you can harvest glow sap in order to cure the plantified survivors found throughout the world. Night missions are a very fun gimmick, but I didn't find them too intriguing, and they really ended up making me wanting more out of the mode because there just wasn't much substance after like the first 3 levels, and I just didn't find it interesting. In addition to night missions, caves are back, baby, and they are better than ever. These are more condensed challenge areas where the player must traverse multiple levels underground in search of treasure and castaways. Each cave has its own theme which highlight the strength and weaknesses of each Pokemon. What? Each cave has its own themes which highlight the strength and weakness of each Pikmin type, which can really make you think on your toes if you aren't really ready for the challenge. Others though are just cruel and they make me sad whenever I watch my Pikmin die. There's even some callbacks! These caves can also be where you partake in Dandori battles. Now you may be thinking, what in the high hell is a Dandori? Well, my good friend, one carefully crafted Google search later tells me that it's the Japanese word for organization and planning. But Pikmin 4 uses this to describe the multitasking that you do throughout the game. In order to test your understanding and mastery of this concept, Nintendo included these guys called Leaflings that challenge you to various missions. These range from using a limited number of Pikmin in order to collect items in a time trial, to battling them in a versus mode to see who is the better Dandori-er, I guess. Now, the amount of content in this game is beyond anything I ever imagined possible to come from a Pikmin title, so I deeply recommend that if you do play it, take your time and just let it all sink in. The one complaint I sadly have though revolves around the lack of a real co-op experience. There is something reminiscent of co-op, but it feels more like an afterthought than a main part of the game. Unlike Pikmin 3's co-op where you and a buddy work together to escape the planet, you get to play Pikmin while the other guy plays Duck Hunt. It's disappointing. It's disappointing to me considering the wait for this game, and if I could request even one thing for Nintendo to change, it would be to make Oatchi a playable side character for your friend to control. He's already been designed under the player being able to control him, so it just makes sense to me to make him a secondary character, but I don't know, it's just my personal opinion. Other than that though, there is some really solid stuff here from the Pikmin team. Which leads me to the Pikmin 4 is one of my favorite games to come out from the Nintendo Switch. It starts out really slow and methodical with teaching you about the mechanics of the game in an easy first world, but by the end of the experience, you'll have a Dandori affliction. I absolutely fell in love with this game and what it had to offer, and I think that you will too. The impressive detail of each world combined with the meticulous balancing of the game leads to a seriously fun and lighthearted adventure. So because of that, I'm giving this game 8 Breadbugs out of 10. Pikmin 4 is absolutely amazing and in-depth when it wants to be, but certain compromises like a lack of co-op and the extremely slow start hold this game back from being the best experience that I think it could be. Is it still a solid title though? Yes. And given that you can buy all 4 Pikmins on the Nintendo Switch right now, I think that this is the perfect time to get lost in this universe, because I know I have, and I'm for sure going back to 100% this game ASAP. So let's get this thing rolling, roll the credits. I gotta go get my Dandori on, so thank you for watching.